Warehouses on Thorn Road, Part 2. The Rot Beneath the City. For months after the fall of the Darcy Empire, the city seemed quieter, almost unnaturally still, like a forest after a storm that uprooted its oldest, strongest trees. Newspapers printed triumphant headlines about justice being served, while politicians congratulated the police for uncovering a horrible but isolated criminal operation. Isolated. That word kept echoing in Mara's mind like a cruel joke. She knew better. The warehouses were not an island. They were a node. One visible tip of a web stretching far underneath the polished surface of society. And the web still pulsed. The survivors' silence. The rescued women were placed in medical care, therapy, and witness protection programs. Some barely spoke. Some screamed at night. Some sat still for hours, staring at invisible things. Others disappeared from shelters, unable to trust any institution or face the world again. Mara visited them whenever she could, though many flinched at her presence, not because they blamed her, but because she reminded them of what they had escaped. One of them, a woman named Lydia, whispered something that never left Mara's memory. They weren't the only buyers. What do you mean? Eleonora had meetings. Men, women, fancy clothes, chauffeurs, sometimes military, sometimes business leaders, sometimes judges. They came to choose. They laughed. They ordered things. Not just work, not just pain. They wanted people to own. Lydia's eyes darkened. We weren't the first, and we won't be the last. The missing ledger. 2 weeks later, during a police review of seized evidence, an investigator approached Mara quietly. You need to hear this. Off the record. He led her into a small locked room with sorted boxes of documents. When we raided Warehouse 9, something was missing. He nodded, expression tight. The ledger. The one with financial flows, clients, orders, names, every transaction. It should have been in the safe. The safe was empty. No fingerprints. No prints at all. The camera feed was wiped, meaning someone got there first. Someone who knew exactly what to take. Mara felt a cold, sickening pressure build in her chest. Someone powerful. Someone very powerful. He hesitated, then pulled a sealed folder from his coat. Inside was a single photograph. Security footage from 2 days before the raid. Eleonora Darsker entering the warehouse. Not alone. Walking beside her was a man with a diplomatic badge on his car, an international emblem on his coat, and the kind of calmness only those protected by absolute immunity could afford. His face was sharp, smiling faintly. Who is he? His file is classified even for me, the investigator muttered. But the rumors say he handles special logistics for certain global committees. Mara felt the ground tilt. Specials meaning he moves people, not goods. The shadow trial. Ludwig and Eleonora awaited trial, but something was wrong from the beginning. Witnesses changed statements. Lawyers vanished. Evidence was declared inadmissible. The press abruptly shifted tone from outrage to skepticism. Were the accusations exaggerated? Could trauma distort memories? Were the Darcy victims of political manipulation? Money was flowing somewhere. Silencing. Discrediting. Erasing. Eleonora seemed relaxed each time she appeared in court. Too relaxed, as though she already knew the verdict. One day, as Mara watched her being escorted through a corridor, Eleonora turned her head, slowly, deliberately, and smiled at her. Not cruelty, not hatred. Something worse. Recognition. A silent message. You pulled one root, not the tree. The night visitor. 3 nights later, Mara's apartment door clicked softly at 2:41 a.m. She awoke instantly, cold sweat on her skin. Her door had been locked, dead-bolted, chained. She slipped silently out of bed, heart pounding, and pressed her back to the wall. Her shadow passed across her hallway. Someone was in her home. Her phone lay across the room, unreachable. Floorboards creaked. A soft, controlled breath. A figure wearing dark clothes, moving with professional precision, almost soundless, searching. Then, from the darkness, you took something that didn't belong to you. His voice was calm, too calm. Mara froze. You should have kept your head down. That was your mistake. She recognized the tone. Cold, polished, detached. The diplomat, the man from the photograph. He stopped inches from her bedroom door. The ledger is missing. And you will return it. Ledger. She didn't have it. Before she could speak, a loud knock thundered from outside. Police! Open up! The intruder slid into the darkness like smoke and was gone, through the kitchen window, off the balcony, disappearing into the night. When officers burst inside, Mara was trembling. Miss, someone called from your number. A distress call. Her phone was still on the dresser. No calls made. Someone had used her number. Someone had wanted the police to interrupt, but not to save her. To send a message. We can enter your home. We can leave without a trace. And we can make the world believe whatever we want. The rot beneath. As days passed, Mara kept digging into financial records. Old contracts, factory history, warehouse leases, border shipments. Patterns emerged. The Darcy network wasn't 2 people. It was a system, a hidden supply chain of human exploitation, not trafficking in the stereotypical sense, but something deeper and more coordinated. Women kidnapped under the guise of employment, foreign workers made to disappear, homeless individuals relocated, orphans transferred, all feeding specialized labor camps scattered across the country, hidden under legal companies, farms, industrial estates, abandoned hotels, a factory requiring no salaries, a workforce with no rights, a source of absolute profit. And someone, higher than Ludwig or Eleonora, had built the architecture for it. The message. One evening, Mara returned home to find an envelope taped to her door. No name, no address, just a single sheet of paper. Inside, a photograph of Lydia, the survivor, lying on a stretcher, neck twisted, unnaturally, eyes open in frozen terror. On the back, 4 words, "Stop, or she won't be the last." Mara's breath shattered. Her body turned to ice. They had killed her, one of the rescued women, because Mara kept digging. Because they knew she wouldn't stop. The visit to prison. She demanded a meeting with Eleonora. It took weeks, bribes, pushing, calling in favors, threatening to go to international media. Finally, she was escorted into a cold, white room. Eleonora sat in shackles, though she looked more regal than imprisoned, spine straight, chin raised. When she saw Mara, her lips curled. "You've caused quite a stir." Mara's voice trembled only slightly. "Who killed Lydia?" Eleonora blinked slowly. "Oh, darling, do you think I still give orders from here?" When she saw Mara, her lips curled. You've caused quite a stir. Mara's voice trembled, only slightly. Who killed Lydia? Eleonora blinked slowly. Oh, darling, do you think I still give orders from here? She leaned forward, chains rattling softly. You are not fighting a monster. You are fighting a kingdom. One that existed long before Ludwig and I entered it. One that will exist long after you are bones. Mara clenched her fists. I'm not afraid of you, Eleonora whispered. You should be afraid of the ones above me. Then she smiled again. They're already watching you. The unraveling. Within a month, two investigators working on the case vanished during vacation. The judge overseeing the trial was reassigned. A journalist publishing an expose died in a staged car crash. The trial was postponed indefinitely, then mysteriously dismissed due to insufficient evidence. Eleonora walked free. So did Ludwig. The city looked the other way. The ending. That wasn't an ending. On a fog-heavy evening, Mara fled her apartment with only a backpack, documents, recordings, testimonies. Everything she had gathered. She knew she was being hunted. She could feel eyes on her back, shadows following too slowly to be coincidence. Cars parked too often near her home. She headed to the station, planning to take a bus out of the city. As she reached the platform, a tall silhouette stepped into her path. The diplomat, the same faint smile. It's time to come with us, Miss Cizek. You've learned far too much. Behind him, she saw other men emerging from the mist, coordinated, calm, silent. No escape. But Mara didn't run. She reached into her bag and pulled out a flash drive. Maybe. But I've already sent this to 30 journalists in 5 countries. If I disappear, it goes public. The diplomat's smile faded. He stepped closer. You think you can bring down an empire? Mara whispered. Not alone, but I just need to crack it. His eyes narrowed, calculating. Then he whispered, Very well. Let's see who breaks first. He walked away into the fog, his men dispersing like phantoms. Mara boarded the bus with shaking hands. She didn't know if she had won a reprieve or started a war.